welcome. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Elijah. Shout out to Annalise. Shout out to Markellius. Shout out to Chris, thank you. Oh, Olivia, my bad. Shout out to Olivia, thank you. Shout out to Kalia. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Thank you, Kalia. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Haley. Shout out to Gianna. Shout out to Amira. Welcome everyone. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Shayna. Yes, Gianna. Welcome. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Sandra. Shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Crew. Shout out to Brayley. Shout out to Cooper. Shout out to Ra. Shout out to Donica. Shout out to Kimberly. Shout out to Melody. Shout out to Quanta. Shout out to Abu Dakar. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Sasha, happy birthday. Shout out to Vivian. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Serenity. Oopsie. Shout out to Timothy. Or shout out to Tim. Happy birthday, Sasha. Shout out to Saul. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to King. I'm so sorry you had a bad day. I hope your day gets better. Shout out to Mai. Shout out to Chanel. Shout out to G Collectibles. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Jaslyn. Shout out to Kavaya. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce her name. Shout out to Daniela. Shout out to Archer. Shout out to Jazz. Shout out to Amina. Shout out to Julian. Welcome everyone. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Danielle. Shout out to Alexander. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Frankie. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Corey. Shout out to Roderick. Shout out to Charlie. Shout out to Preston. Shout out to Ira. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Noemi. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Diesel. Diesel Blues. Shout out to Roberta. Shout out to, thank you. Shout out to Zadie. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Brody. Shout out to, thank you, Alexander. Shout out to Mr. G. Shout out to Bradley. Shout out to Zadie. Happy birthday. Shout out to Marilyn. Shout out to Iran. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Gracie. Shout out to Oren. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Kinley. Shout out to Marilyn, I got you. Oren, I got you. Liam, I got you. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Brayden. Shout out to Jessica. Shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Lily. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Shanoa. Shout out to Meilani. Shout out to Bria. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Deliza. Shout out to Lisa. Shout out to Jalen. Shout out to Adeline. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to Aaliyah. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Hannah. Shout out to Araya. Shout out to La Boo Boo. Shout out to Mr. Goat. Shout out to Sammy. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Josiah. Shout out to Lear. Shout out to Tadeo. Shout out to Gracie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Wilson. Shout out to Felicia. Shout out to Boy. Shout out to Piggy. Shout out to Rain. Shout out to Moonlight. Shout out to Imani. Shout out to Charles. Shout out to Shanoa. Oh, Shanoa, I got you. Shout out to Winter. Shout out to Riley. Shout out to Dylan. Shout out to Valentina. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Bronson. Shout out to Priscilla. Welcome. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Edward. Shout out to Tawana. Shout out to Sophia. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. I live stream every day around the same time as this. I hope you can subscribe or leave a like or both. I would truly appreciate it. Your support means the world to me. Thank you so much for being here. My channel is NessDIYcorner. I also post other content. I do greeting cards tutorials. If you're interested, I hope you can check out my channel. I post holiday cards or birthday cards. also do these like this too. If you're interested, I hope you can check out my channel. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Jaylani. Shout out to Thomas. Shout out to Ramirez. Shout out to Kennedy. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to Chester. Shout out to Braylon. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Thomas. Oh, Thomas, I got you. Shout out to Priscilla. Shout out to Jenica. Shout out to Rachi. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Hello Kitty. Shout out to Kaylani. Shout out to Buddy. Oopsie, I messed up. Shout out to Maria. Happy birthday. Happy early birthday. Shout out to Ashton. Shout out to Winter. Shout out to Mateo. Shout out to Emmanuel. Shout out to Brayler. Shout out to Ala. Shout out to Anelli. Shout out to Seth. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to Jaslyn. Shout out to Shanoa. Shout out to Grayson. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Christopher. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Keisha. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Lila. Shout out to Angela. Shout out to Harry. Shout out to Adita Chahan. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Gabriella. Shout out to Miles. Shout out to Raven. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Kirsten. Shout out to Anaya. Shout out to Nai. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Ezra. Shout out to Megan. Shout out to, whoopsie, Nicole. Shout out to Lily. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Anaya. Shout out to Javon. Shout out to, oh, whoops, I spelled. There we go. Shout out to Madison. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Shout out to Gracie. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Jaslyn. Shout out to Kimura. Shout out to Shakai. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Samantha. Shout out to Emma. Shout out to Fatima. Shout out to Avery. Shout out to Hector. Shout out to Olivia. Shout out to Ava. Shout out to Sophia Katsai. Shout out to Paisley. Shout out to Fatima, I got you. Shout out to Joshua. Shout out to Eva. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Smart Moose. Shout out to Sammy. Shout out to Kirsten. Shout out to Leroy. Shout out to Bella. Shout out to Tice. Shout out to, is it Bila? Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Jacob. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Layla, I got you. Shout out to Talon. Shout out to, leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Kirsty. Shout out to Bila, I got you. Shakai, I got you. Shout out to Amy. Shout out to Oakland. Shout out to Rocky. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Curtis. Shout out to Crew. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Gracie. Shout out to Rachi. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Jonah. Shout out to Clifford. Shout out to Kylan. Shout out to... Oh no! I'm so sorry, Gracie. Shout out to Vicky. Shout out to Penelope. Shout out to Hello Kitty. Shout out to Elmo. Shout out to Cookie Monster. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Jimena. Shout out to Etta. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Lucas. Shout out to Abby. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to these people. On to the next page. Please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. My channel is NessDIYcorner if you're interested. If you want to check out my channel. Shout out to Kirsten. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Starlin. Shout out to Luna. Shout out to Angelica. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Parker. Shout out to Luna, I got you. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to Savannah. Shout out to Elisa Kate. Shout out to Camilo. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Kendra. Shout out to Carly. Shout out to Cookie Monster. Shout out to Jisoo. Shout out to Aria. Shout out to Valentino. Shout out to Kimura. Shout out to Kaylee. Shout out to Katslea. Shout out to Mason. Shout out to Deleza. Shout out to Lego Bricks 2023. Shout out to Alex. Shout out to Gabriella. Shout out to Faye. Shout out to Sade. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Shout out to Ariel. Also, please subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. Shout out to Curtis. Shout out to Maddie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Victor. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to Bruce Lee. Shout out to Salim. Shout out to Rojo. Shout out to Edward. Shout out to Abel. Shout out to Brian. You're welcome. Shout out to Kaden. Shout out to Lil Cookie Rat. Shout out to Liam. Shout out to Cruz. Shout out to Donna. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to Jacqueline. Oopsie, I messed up. Shout out to Mira. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Mira. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to Christian. Shout out to Matthew. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Mackenzie. Thank you for subscribing. Shout out to Nahum. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Etta. Shout out to Benny. Shout out to Macy. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Hudson. Shout out to Kylia. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Crew. Shout out to Ava. Oh, shout out to Kylie. Thank you for showing me how to pronounce your name. Shout out to Mal. Shout out to Helen. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Shout out to Mia. Shout out to Leah. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the live stream. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Also check out my channel. I post greeting cards like this. I do tutorials on birthday cards and holiday cards if you're interested. Please check out my channel. I would truly appreciate it. I also make tutorials like this as well. And then my recent post, I recently posted this one, this tutorial. So if you're interested, please check out my channel. It's NessDIYcorner. So I do shout outs on my live stream, and I do tutorials on YouTube Shorts. Shout out to Refa. Shout out to Duffy. Thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, I like to do greeting cards. That's something that I really enjoy doing, and I also enjoy doing the shout outs on the live stream. Shout out to Coco. Leave a like if you're enjoying the live stream. Also subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. Thank you. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Jacqueline. Shout out to Cookie Butter. Shout out to Lily. You're welcome. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Catalea. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Shout out to Kalis. Shout out to Colin. Shout out to Steak. Shout out to Fulton. Write your name in the chat if you want me to shout you out. Shout out to Jack Johnson. Shout out to Sniper Wolf. Shout out to Angeli. Shout out to Emily. Shout out to Brayley. Shout out to Cooper. Shout out to these people. Shout out to Samantha. Shout out to Viola. Shout out to Andy. Shout out to Salam. Shout out to Madison. Shout out to Woody. You're welcome. Shout out to these people. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to write your name. I live stream every day around the same time as this. Please subscribe if you enjoy the shout outs. I will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.